يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن.
It's not the issue is not only limited to the health sector. Whoever is working, one major thing that has been on my mind for a long time is the issue of people not preparing for retirement. Everybody will sit down as a government worker, more so in the northeastern part of the country. From my experience in the civil service, the northeast, we were virtually, I could say more than 95% of the civil servants at that time were relying on government, salary, 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 and then they go and do one or two things within and get some money. But you see, the difference between us in the northeast and the northwest is the northwest people are more of investors. They go into doing some bit of marketing. Most of them have some stalls in the market that they go in the evening or they ask somebody to go. By the time they retire, they have a fallback. But if you check in the northeast, I don't know what is wrong with us. Maybe we inherited this thing from our great-grandparents and our parents and everything. Everybody was just working as a civil servant. They knew nothing other than the civil service. So if anything happens and you get retired, or by any chance God blessed you by getting to either 60 years or 35 years of service, most of us don't have a plan for retirement. And we get into these muddy waters. You see somebody who was retired within 1 year, 2 years, doing nothing. He's deteriorated. He's just sedentary, sitting down at home doing nothing. So what I advise, what I think we should be doing as public servants, as civil servants, is to please plan for retirement. Now, I've discussed it with a couple of my colleagues. The argument is, what do they use to plan? The salary does not take them home. If your salary cannot take you home at the end of the month, what can you use to plan? No matter how small. Look, it doesn't have to be gargantuous. All you need to do is whatever small thing that you have, even if it means a shop, a small shop that you, at the end of every month, invest something in it. No matter how small, 10, 20,000 naira. If you can invest 10,000 naira into a small shop on a monthly basis, and God blessed you, and God blesses you rather, for you to have an honest person that will run the place. Otherwise, you end up with, I don't know what sort of multiple medical conditions you'll have, high blood pressure, stroke, and everything, a heart attack. So either way you go, you find that there are difficulties. But I think in spite of the expected difficulties, it is better to start investing. The moment you start work, invest no matter how small amount it is. 5,000, 10,000 naira, 5,000, 10,000 naira. By the time you get to the end of your career, of course you'll be monitoring. Unfortunately, except if the laws are changed. That is why we are so dogmatic in the service. We are going about with careers that are with laws that are unrealistic. The civil service says that you cannot do any form of private practice outside. The only thing that you're allowed to do is farming. No, everybody cannot be a farmer. It's not possible. They are born farmers. There are people that acquire farming. But some people are not born farmers. They cannot farm. So government should look into this and give leverage for people to start going outside the cycles of this farming business. Yes, it is a good thing, but farming is capital intensive. You cannot be a civil servant working in Abuja and then your hometown is Gombe and you expect that every weekend you will travel and go and do. If you give farming by proxy, it's recipe for disaster. The man will be feeding himself and you you may not see anything. So where you are in a place like this, it will be extremely difficult as a public servant to say you've gotten a place to farm. Where you get it, it is extremely expensive. So people should have diverse options where they can do one or two things. I think whatever it is, whether well, the government should look into it so that they can allow them earn a living.
يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن